So I found this wedding cake on Pinterest. But how much does this cake actually cost? All right, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Okay, bye. $700, and that's the starting price for a 3-tier wedding cake. I know wedding cakes are so expensive because of the time and talent it requires, which makes total sense. I know they would make a beautiful cake worth every single penny of that $700, but I kinda wanna see if I could make the cake and how much it would cost me. A huge advantage of DIYing your own wedding is to save a little money, right? And you can either save time or money. You usually can't have both, so today we're trying to invest our time to save a little money. Ooh, I forgot simple syrup on this second layer. Now it's not gonna be moist. Tanner, it's your job to remind me to put the simple syrup on every single layer. I already used all this buttercream and I have another bowl of it, but I'm like kind of scared that I'm gonna run out. Throughout this process, I'm gonna be keeping track of the amount of time and money that we spend on this cake so that we can compare that to the price of the bakery version. That's so good. I didn't want to eat this. First crumb coat is done. Let's go into the fridge. Wow, that was the easiest I've ever like taken a cake off of that. Hopefully it's easy the rest of the times. Okay, so we're on to the second tier for the crumb coat, and I am not forgetting the simple syrup this time.
I didn't have to remind you.
You did not. So if you're wondering why I'm making a wedding cake and why I chose this specific cake, well, my youngest sister Annabelle is getting engaged, but she doesn't know that yet, and by the time this video is posted, she will be engaged. Hopefully. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. This is it, guys. Oh my gosh.
Here he goes.
Okay. Oh my God. I wish I could see her face. Were you surprised?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's beautiful.
He told me he wasn't doing it today. He said next year.
A long time ago, I told her that I wanted to make her wedding cake because I know she would just like get a cake from Sam's Club, which is great and fine and all, but like I want to do something really special for her. She does a lot for other people and works in the hospital with sick children. You know, she deserves the best cake she can get on her wedding day. And I'm gonna try to give that to her. I'm still not sure if she'll like agree to this. So I'm like not a professional, which is like one reason why I'm like, she may not agree to it. I have always loved making cakes for like birthdays and just special celebrations and holidays. If I'm actually going to make her wedding cake, I need to be prepared. So I need all the practice I can get. Hopefully I don't ruin Annabelle's wedding. And my plan is to show this finished cake to Annabelle to hopefully impress her. Sadly, she doesn't live near me, so she can't taste it. Unless I have leftovers because I see her later this week. If you're still wondering why I chose funfetti, it's because it's my sister's favorite flavor. So for my wedding, I wanted it to be like traditional and very elegant. She's not that kind of girl. So to try to find out what style of cake she might want, I did some snooping on Pinterest. She only had Harry Potter and cute animals, which is honestly a pretty accurate description of her. I saw her a couple weeks ago at Thanksgiving and we sat down and looked on Pinterest together, and she showed me a lot of cakes that she liked. Many of them were semi-naked, really rustic, whimsical, non-traditional, and all of that does sound kind of like an odd combination of things, but if I had to describe her in a cake, that would be it. So when I sent the picture of this cake to the bakery, they actually recommended against a naked wedding cake because they said it tends to dry out a lot quicker. I was like, oh, that's good to know, but like, what do you do if that's like what your person wants? I kind of used to think rustic naked wedding cakes almost looked unfinished, but I kind of like it. Wow. Into the fridge you go. She's so pretty. Wow. We're on to tier number 3. I'm thinking we're gonna actually have enough buttercream for all the cakes, especially since these top 2 tiers are semi-naked. Oh, it just got on the floor. Do you like my shoes? I got them when I went to Disney World and they're so comfy. $25 on Amazon, baby. I ran out of sprinkles, so this top tier is sadly not funfetti. You forgot to remind me about the simple syrup. I'm gonna scrape it off. Let's get some on the sides.
You need the thing that squirts it out like a shower.
Yeah. Into the fridge you go. Okay, so now it's time to actually frost our entire bottom tier. So basically we just need to use the rest of the buttercream and load it up. So the bottom layer is just going to be this smooth traditional buttercream, and then the top 2 tiers are going to be semi-naked layer. I haven't seen many cakes that combine semi-naked with traditional. I think it gives like a nice, elegant, rustic, romantic feel to the cake. And I know Annabelle would probably prefer just a naked cake. I like traditional, so I was like, well, I need as much practice as I can get, so we get the best of both worlds. Hannah Montana, am I right? Go Hannah, go Hannah, go Hannah. I think one of my favorite parts of making cakes is frosting and decorating and baking. Really all of it. Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. This is the best part right here. I'm so glad that didn't like mess up my cake. So about a month ago, I wanted to try to recreate my own wedding cake for me and my husband's anniversary because I love baking and I've always wanted to make a wedding cake. That whole experience really gave me a whole new appreciation for like bakers and bakeries because a lot of time and energy and talent and effort goes into it. But if you're a bride on a budget and you know somebody that can do it for you or you want to do it yourself because you love baking, I think making your own could be a good way to go. And I feel like this is pretty good. Okay, I think we're ready to finally stack all of our cakes. So first we need our central dowel so it has some support and it doesn't like crumble in on itself. Then you need plastic straw ones and you put those around the edges. So I went ahead and pulled our second tier out of the freezer. I honestly think it looks pretty good, so I'm excited about that. And I already put the dowels in this one, so now it's time to stack it. This is the scariest part for me. Come on, gravity, do your thing. Okay, we did it. And this is perfect because I wanted to just poke out so that the other cake can go on top.
See, that one's more naked.
Yes, this one is more naked. Well, I'm not sure it's quite centered. Maybe I need to be more precise with the central dowel. Something to work on for next time for sure. But I think it's kind of cute. So now we just need to pipe buttercream around like the cardboard to try to cover it up. And I've learned to do this with a smaller piping bag. I feel like naked wedding cakes, maybe don't put the cardboard. It's really hard to cover it up. Okay, lesson learned. This is why we're doing this. You know, that kind of actually looks kind of cool, so I may just leave that. Okay, this one is doing okay. Well, I tried the best I could to cover up the cardboard, but it just didn't work out for this middle tier. The top one looks fine, and this was like a new technique that I had never done. I'm pretty happy with it overall. So let's talk decorations. I decided to go with red roses, some eucalyptus, some pretty olive branches, thyme, blackberries, and blueberries. By the way, I got all my flowers from Trader Joe's. If you need flowers for anything, they're so cheap. Like, I know people who have gotten their actual wedding flowers from Trader Joe's. Like a dozen roses, $10. This olive branch, like 3. Eucalyptus, like 3. And I'm obviously not gonna use all of it. Let's get to decorating. Hi!
Hello, Mary A.
I made this wedding cake and think like Enchanted Forest meets romance.
So, like, raccoon meets wedding dress. Got it.
Okay, yeah. Are you ready?
Oh, that's really good, Mary A. It reminds me of, makes me want a hot dog real bad. Red
What?
From the Legally Blonde. What's that girl's name? You have to tell me you remember that scene.
You look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
The vibe is very romantic and, like, woodsy. Exactly how you described it. It's like my Pinterest board threw up.
So I actually saw my sister a few days later and was able to bring her some cake. So let's see what she thinks. It's a few days old, so hopefully it's not too dry. It's funfetti. Your favorite flavor, duh.
It would be great with like a cup of coffee. I could eat the rest of it.
So could it pass for like a real cake for guests?
I think so. If I was invited as a wedding guest somewhere and that was the cake, I would be happy.
Yay! Before I show you the finished cake, in total I spent 1 hour and 42 minutes baking the cakes, 1 hour making all the buttercream, 43 minutes frosting the cakes, and 1 hour and 20 minutes stacking and decorating the cakes, which is a total of 4 hours and 45 minutes of active labor. And all in, I spent $70.31 on all ingredients and decorations used for the cake. So here it is. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see any future videos following along this journey, but in the meantime, you can watch this video where I recreated my own wedding cake. I'll see you in the next video.